Hey everybody, I'm Josh Douglas, out here on my favorite lake in the entire country, Lake Mille Lacs, doing a little smallmouth fishing, and finally get the opportunity to introduce you all to a bait I helped design for an awesome company that's just kicking out killer baits right now, and that's the Outkast Tackle Goldeneye Swimmer Head. This is a swim bait head designed to throw, you know, very popular Kitech baits today. You got different swimmer heads, grubs, all sorts of different kind of baits that swim through the water column. This has been a great way for the last few years that I've found to catch smallmouth bass all over the country, anywhere I go. And also huge for largemouth and spotted bass. It really is a versatile bait. Bass eat bait fish, that's what they do. And this thing is meant to mimic it. One thing I was never happy about with the different swim bait heads that are out there. Sure, there's a lot of really good ones in my opinion for your heavier stuff. You know, maybe your 3/4, your 1.5 ounce, geared towards ledge fishing. But nobody really making heads, and good heads at that, with proper hooks, geared to more finesse style fishing, or more importantly, smallmouth fishing, spotted bass fishing. We've always had the double collar. That's something that we've been known for on our money jig, keep Sinkos on there real tight, but we incorporated that, went one step farther with a bait keeper. Now the bait doesn't come out there. I'm really not a fan of using glue if I don't have to. Sometimes glue can kind of gunk up, make the bait not look good, and once it starts ripping, all you're doing is re-gluing, and it's like your glue on top of glue just never really works well. So this keeper, we utilize it great. Here you can see I got a little hypertail grub. Again, another bait that I really love to throw with this, and goes back to ages of smallmouth fishing. Smallmouth and grubs just go together. This one's got a little boot tail on there, so it kind of combines the both. You can see I can just slide the bait on, run it down. I've done this a whole bunch of times, so I just kind of know where it needs to go. The keeper's going to be there, the double barb there. And I'm just going to slide it up. Bam. And that ain't coming off of there. I can get multiple fish out of that. All the different size heads come with a different hook option, and that's meant to match your swim bait. Different sizes we use, you can tell here I carry an assortment pack of them. We have them from 1/8 ounce with 2 different size hooks, meant to carry just the really smallest stuff like this right here on a spinning rod. Little 1/8 ounce head, little Kitech fat, meant for getting up in that shallow water. And then we got, here's a 1/4 ounce version. You know, 1/4 ounce, this is one of my favorite sizes. A lot of times I found myself 1/8 ounce using that in the spring and in the fall, up really shallow water. Something where I really want that tail kicking really hard, but I just don't really want that head. I don't want the fall, I want it to stay high in the water column. 1/4 ounce is probably my all around. I use this all over the country. 1/4 ounce head. Again, here's one in the 3/0 model that holds a little smaller swim bait, but we also have them in the 4/0 model for your little bit bigger ones. Today out here on Mille Lacs, I'm fishing mostly deep. I got the 3/8 model going. This has got a 4/0 hook, also comes with a 5/0 hook. In this case, I'm using a Daiwa swim bait. Love this little swim bait. One of my favorites too is the Rains. This one I use a lot of times on that 1/8 ounce. Again, awesome bait. This one I can throw it down, and what we designed the bait to do is, you can see it's got a sled bottom on it right here. It's like kind of a top. The weight's on the bottom. It wants this bait to get down in the rocks. I can swim it through the rocks. I can drag it through the rocks without getting it hung up. And then we're using a Gamakatsu hook. This in this case is the 4/0 Gamakatsu. I don't think there's a better hook out there for this kind of stuff. We're using light line, making super long casts, and trying to pull these fish off of the cover. You just have to have a really good hook. Again, the head never ever gets hung up. One of my favorites. I got sick of just snapping off 4 or 5 of them in a row because they get caught in the rocks. They were never meant to go through there. The key is that you don't want the bait to ever roll, and that's something that's hard to do, especially with the smaller models. And again, ours are meant to either swim in the water column or come through the rocks. Whichever way you go about it, that's what this head was designed to do. Not just there, you can also see we do have some of the bigger sizes. This one right here is the 1/2 ounce. You can see you can hold your bigger bass trick stuff. I use this all winter. This is something I used to use at Chickamauga a lot in the winter time when bass are just keying in on bigger bait fish. And then of course we got the new green pumpkin ones that are coming out. Green pumpkin, silver, those are about the 2 only colors a person needs for this. You're either matching bait fish or you're matching other bait fish like perch and bluegills and stuff like that. And the green pumpkin head is something that I'm very excited. Followed this lineup right away. So let's get out there and let's catch some smallmouth.